And on food market trends today on iBrand Daybreak, rice is in the news. Rice is the most important staple food for most people around the world, not even Nigeria alone. It ranks third after wheat and maize in terms of worldwide production. The lingering spike in the price of rice has become more worrisome to Nigerians because rice is one food item most homes consume more. Data from Selected Food Prices Watch reports of the National Bureau of Statistics showed that the average price of 1 kg of local rice rose from 172.74 naira as of February 2016 to 520 naira as of February 2023. The federal government ban on the importation of rice across land borders is one major factor that has affected the increase in the price of rice and kept 70% tariffs on the imports coming through ports. In line with these interventions, there seemed to have been an increase in the local production of rice. Other factors include a loose border, which has led to smuggling, insecurity, and flood, among others. An average Nigerian would prefer to purchase the foreign rice instead of buying the locally produced ones. And we're having this conversation with our lady from the market.
The market woman. Your market party.
Caroline Elegalam. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning, Zoe.
So what do you, who would you blame for, the increase in the price of rice?
Okay, first off, we'll blame it to insecurity, as you understand, because that one is one major factor that has really caused this increase of rice, because farmers, they're even scared to go to the farm.
Okay.
You understand? Now, other factors increase the high cost of paddy, which is the rice plant. It's expensive. So imagine buying such amount of paddy, because it costs now for 280,000 naira. And a paddy, we need a metric ton of paddy, which is 100 kg, to produce 50 kg bags of rice.
Oh, wow.
Now imagine spending 282,000 to buy rice plant. You've not even added other production costs. You understand my point? So all of these are actually, we can blame it to what actually made all of this rice to increase. And also, there are different aspects as well. People now smuggle rice. There is ban. There is short of all of these land borders, but people are still smuggling rice. You understand my point? Now imagine me spending huge amount of money to smuggle in rice. You sort out the customs and other security agencies at these land borders. All of this was usually blame it to the increase in rice.
What would you suggest as solutions?
I feel like our government should really, probably these guys at the border, there is the customs and other security agencies at the border, probably they should just give them incentive, increase their wage, because probably it's just their salary they're relying on. Now imagine me paying you ×2, ×3 of your salary. Abba, you will shut your mouth and allow me to pass now.
But really, Caroline,
you understand my this is a Nigerian thing, like so these are the things that are actually happening in this country. So I feel government should at least probably tighten our borders. You get, increase their wage, ensure that they are okay, so that at least don't fault all of these temptations of trying to allow people smuggling rice. And Nigerians too, we need to, at least government said we should all focus on our local rice. We should please focus on it.
But when you talk about the factors affecting production, are you also aware that we have gotten some intervention in the past, which I also engaged our previous guest before he left. We had an intervention from World Bank to the tune of $280 million. Are you saying this money is not enough to cushion the effect?
This money, first off, is not enough. Secondly, how many people have been able
Aside from
to
that, we also had the closure of our borders to encourage local production. So you're saying that in spite of that, we still can get affordable rice?
We can't, because
why?
This, as I said, the crop itself is expensive. Now imagine a local farmer spending such a huge amount of money just to buy a farm which is just 1,000 kg that can just produce 12 bags of rice. Now, how can that one go round? I mean, they have to spend more. Now, all of these interventions you spoke about, the question now is, How many of these farmers have been able to come out and say, yes, so I've been able to benefit from these interventions? So these are things that we need to actually look into, because people, okay, this is Nigeria, of course. We're always hearing so and so amount of money has been put into so and so sector. How many people have been able to benefit from it for it to be able to go around? You get my point? So all of these things are actually factors that are actually causing the increase in the price of rice.
Let's look at these factors. You know, when you say all of these things are the factors, all of these things are the factors, let's break it down. Yeah,
okay.
Let's look at the challenges that is facing an average rice farmer. What are the major challenges they have to go through, which is aside, of course, from the fact that the seedlings are expensive. You've mentioned that more than enough times. But what other challenges do they go through to be able to bring forth rice to the market for us to buy and consume?
They don't have enough land for them to harvest all of this rice and all of this. Insecurity, that one, it's something that has been persistent lately. Also, we also have they use their mills now. They use diesel to run it for this factory where they produce it more, where they use it because of diesel now. How much is diesel now? See, these are all of these that are actually also transportation. How can they transport this rice down to the markets and all of these things? Now, majorly also is the land of a thing. I feel like government needs to start, maybe they need to acquire more land to enable them produce in large quantities. You get my point? Because you can imagine just you having small portion and just trying to meet up to your targets and all of that, but you're unable to because of the land mass of a thing. So all of these are major things that actually challenge that the farmers are actually facing.
But even in the little farming that we're doing, there is local rice in the market, and it's in competition with foreign rice, that is the ones that are smuggled in from our borders. And yet Nigerians the whole conversation, or should I say, Nigerians are crying for support Nigerian made products, support Nigerian brands, but then they still prefer to buy foreign rice. Why do you think that is?
Okay, now foreign rice. Okay, Zoe, I guess you eat foreign rice. But
I don't. I prefer to eat local rice.
Okay, you prefer to eat the local rice. Now, a lot of people prefer to, because local rice is actually more delicious. It's more nutritious as well. The process of even cooking that, someone said to cook local rice. Now let me quote the person. This person said to cook local rice, just go find something chop first. I don't know if you get my point.
Yeah, take your whole body.
You get my point. Now imagine process of you trying to remove stone from this rice. You feel of course as if you are selecting beans.
But there are more destoned products
makes it difficult for we now to consume local rice.
Yes.
When it comes to picking of those stones.
Yes, the processing, and there are some mills now. They are trying to reduce all of these things too, so that to compete with the foreign ones. You get some local rice don't need to start picking too many stones in it. While there are the stones in there, in fact, like there are so much. So because of you going through the stress of trying to pick stones, trying to make sure that there are no harmful objects inside the rice. So when you cook it, you're not eating rice. You're like, oh, you get my point. So all of these things. Let me just go and buy foreign rice and save myself this stress.
Okay, is it that because I know that when you come to the market and you're trying to buy rice, they tell you that this one is destoned and this one is not destoned. Is it that to get the destoned ones to the point where it is now called destoned, is it more expensive? Is it more challenging?
It's more expensive. The one that is destoned is more expensive. The one that is, when you go to the market to buy rice, they tell you, okay, this one there's stone in it, or this one there's no stone in it. They'll tell you this, they tell you this one is 500 naira. This one is 700, 800. Now this one is 500 because of now they'll be able to help you reduce that stress. You get my point. Now they'll be able to help you to remove all of these shafts, these stones, at least to save you the stress, save you even time.
Okay, so you're indirectly paying for the labor.
You get
the person who took their time to take out the stones. And
you get my point. But when you have the luxury of time, just buy the one that has stone. When you go to you're not in a hurry. Start doing the normal things.
Josh.
Because even if you go to the market, now let me ask you this question: if you go to the market, Which one would you prefer?
Actually, I eat local rice, but I take my time. I keep asking, I want the stone because I cannot shout.
Because you would even find out
That's my point.
you find out that even these foreign rice, they still have grades. There's the one they call the long grain.
Yeah.
There's the one they call the short grain.
Yeah.
So what's the nexus between these two?
Okay, the short grain. People complain that the short grain does not last long when you cook it.
Last long? How do you
Like
mean?
when you boil the rice. If you can experiment it, when you boil the short grain, when you boil it, probably the long grain will take maybe it will stay for like the next day, but the short one might
You
not
mean
stay.
preservative?
Like yes, when you cook it finish, trying to keep it probably to the next day. Probably you don't want to put it inside the fridge or anything. You just boil it. Just maybe it doesn't have long life. That's the short grain. When you boil it, if you can experiment it, you can just buy it because I've tried it before.
So it petrifies under heat faster than the long grain.
Why the long grain? At least it can still stay for at least 24 hours without you even trying to probably warm it and all of that.
Or put it in the fridge.
You get, or even put it in the fridge. But the short one, and again, it sticks together. The short grain sticks together compared to some long grain. You know, because they've gone through the process of the parboiling process where they're trying to package it and all of that. But actually, the parboiled ones, they've gone through all of those processing. At least it will still last.
Okay, so because we're rounding off now, what would you say that if we're able to put these things in place, then maybe our local rice can be able to compete with the foreign ones?
I feel like first of all, the government needs to, all of this intervention that just said, the government needs to, people need to see this intervention. Like, we don't need to start yet, so million have been given out to the rice farmers and all of that, so that they need to start seeing it. Government needs to actually produce a lot of land mass so that these guys can produce more. Because the truth is, we need to start competing with the foreign ones, so that at least we Nigerians, we can be able to, like, okay, fine, we're not just getting rice from outside, we're also exporting to them as well. You get my point? So they need to just put all of these things in place. Whatever intervention these guys are receiving, let them see it. We don't just hear with our ears. That's what is happening. We only hear. Nobody, you hardly see someone come and yes, so I benefited from this intervention and all that. And for the borders that are closed, they just need to make sure that they should not open it, they should not allow, because as they're allowing smuggling to come in, you get all these people smuggling rice to come and all of that, it even causes people not even patronize the local rice producers. To rather go for since people have been able to at least smuggle it in, they should see that they tighten these borders to ensure that we all patronize locally made Nigerian rice, which are like very delicious than the foreign ones.
Josh, do you have any final words?
Well, as she had just said, I think that would in a way, improve the production level, especially locally. When you talked about having this money or funds available to the local farmers, not giving it to middlemen, because obviously we've seen in time past where monies were marked for certain projects, and of course it didn't trickle down to the local farmers. And of course, you said something that has to do with tightening of the borders, because truth be told, some of our borders are really porous. And we have so many inroads into our country, especially from all of these borders. So I think that in some way would help to boost local production. You
know, when Dr. G was here, he said our greed has not allowed our greed to thrive. And that's our GREED has not allowed our GRID to thrive. And where I'm going with that is, I'm hoping that, let us assume that God touches the heart of people in power. And tomorrow the borders are tight. No, we don't. We're being
very religious.
Yeah, I'm being positive. Yeah, I'm trying to be positive because it's actually very appalling. My point is, I'm hoping that things are put in place. You get the incentives you need. You get the amounts of land mass that you need, and you get all the production support that you need, and you are not struggling to compete with rice imported, or struggling to compete with people smuggling in rice. Then you will not come and go and increase your own price and try to rip off of your people, because this is what we see. It happened with the POS guys where the cash crunch came on us, and we've seen it happen even with bus drivers. They take up price, we're going to bring it down now, problem. So I'm hoping that we will not have to face that type of problem with rice producers and everybody in general when we get things right. I don't even know why I'm going motivational this morning. But it's a serious problem. It's a serious problem.
Can I tell you what? It lies within you. It's within your power. It is not putting the issue of God touching their heart. It lies within you. Elect people that will represent your interest. These things are not rocket
Josh,
science.
I'm talking about the individual who is going to be selling this rice eventually. If by the time you're done producing and a bag of rice comes down to 1,000 naira, please sell it at 1,000 naira. Don't sell it at 2,500. Because now you feel like, it's time to make extra money. And you're ripping off of people who have worked so hard to make this money. And then we are in the same circle. It becomes a rat race. We are running around the same spot.
That's true.
Anyway, thank you so much, Caroline, for coming on the show. We hope to hear from you again next Tuesday. No Until then, remain positive, be a good Nigerian. This is where we draw the curtain this morning on today's edition of iBrandTV Daybreak. We will return with another packed package, but it will be tomorrow at 8 a.m. My name is Uche Zoe.
My name is Joshua Okata, and of course, we'll see you tomorrow, God willing.
Have a great day.